outside. Beautiful weekend to do that. I didn't do that. We had a lot of other things to take care of. First of all, well, no, we'll touch base on that in just a second. My thought. Just an absolutely gorgeous weekend, Jonathan Dent. I hope you had a chance to get outside a little bit.
Little bit, not too much, but a little bit of work to do out in the yard. And it was nice to have some warmer temperatures and sunny days for that.
Well, I tell you, usually from year in and year out, you kind of plan things that you're going to get done. And when it rolled into Saturday morning, beautiful sunrise, and it was a little breezy, but not that bad. And then yesterday had all sorts of things to take care of inside. You really felt like you should be outside doing something, but maybe over the next couple of days, because we're going to have some pretty nice days. We're going to have some warm days. And once again, we're going to have a little bit of rain here and there. But currently, what are we looking at?
Well, right now, we've broken that 40-degree mark. Out at the airport, they're reporting 41 degrees. Downtown Midland, 41. And here at Radio Center, we're at 42. The winds are picking up out of the west at 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 28. So it's pretty breezy out there today.
Yeah, it's breezy out there, but some of us shucked the old overcoat, stuck it in the back of the pickup. Maybe I'll have to use it, but hopefully not. Things are looking upwards as far as our temperatures go for the next few days. We alluded to it. This is kind of interesting because the record high on Valentine's Day was set back in 1915, and it was 49 degrees.
Ooh.
Our projected high for tomorrow is 52. So I got a funny feeling we're going to break that record. Now, the record high for the 15th of February is 56. That was set back in 1954. On Wednesday, we're projecting a high temperature of 52. So we'll come close. Now, Thursday, the 16th, that record's going to stay. That is 60 degrees, set way back over 100 years ago, 1921. And our projected high temperature for Thursday is going to be 34.
That's a big drop.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're talking Dakota weather.
Yep.
But we're getting a little bit closer to average because we should be at 31 in the afternoon and 17 at night. Plenty of sun, beautiful sunrise this morning, a little bit on the breezy side, 45, 46 is what we're looking at over the weekend. Yesterday, we saw a number of cities in the southern half of the Lower Peninsula hit 55. So we were quite warm. 57 was the record high that was set back in 1932 yesterday. So we came pretty close. Not quite, but we came pretty close to breaking that record. Looking for a high on Wednesday of 51, a high on Thursday, as we said, of 34. Friday, can you believe this? 26 for a high on Friday.
It was nice while it lasted, but we did say we'd have to pay for it at some point, right?
At some point, and we haven't even started yet.
Uh-oh.
But we'll talk about that in future broadcasts. Because right now, long-range outlook to take us all the way through the 26th is for our temperatures to be above average. Precipitation values to simmer down just a little bit, but still a little bit above normal for this time of the year. Sun will set this evening at 6:04. Absolutely beautiful day, as we said today, with plenty of sun. Sunrise tomorrow morning, you'll see it, 7:36. As we go through the day tomorrow, the clouds will be on the increase. And then after sunset tomorrow night, we'll see some rain showers move in as a system, which it's located over Kansas. It's going to move into southern Minnesota overnight on Tuesday night. So we'll be on the warm side of it, a little bit wet, but nothing like what we saw last week. Even though the rain came down very nicely, we did pick up quite a bit of precipitation last week. We were looking at well over an inch in a lot of spots. We're not going to see that out of this system. We're going to see a little bit of measurable amount of snow as we move into the tail end of the work week, because Thursday, we're going to be looking at a rain and snow mix turning into all snow by Thursday night. And then on Friday, it'll be partly cloudy skies and it'll be downright chilly. High pressure is going to be moving in Canada, and hopefully nobody will shoot that down. As we said, long-range outlook is for everything to be above average all the way through the 26th of the month. The record low, which is going to stand, fortunately for us, another year, is 15 below zero. And that was set back in 1899.
Wow.
Yeah. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Gary Kaufman at Star of the West. I know he has to deliver these prices today.
Is he going to want to, though?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
He's going to want to. All of that coming up. But first,
weather report today brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
they say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Michigan corn growers want to remind you tomorrow morning it's Coffee with Corn. We'll be joining you all just a few minutes before 8 o'clock, so tune in if you haven't already done it. Great speaker coming up tomorrow. Kristen Poley is going to be joining us. So put that on the list of things to do. Coffee with Corn tomorrow morning. Official kickoff at 8 a.m. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. And Gary, the last time I looked, kind of a smiling Monday, right?
Yeah, we're starting out this Monday with pretty much positives across the board like we ended last Friday, for sure, Terry.
We'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, anytime we can start a new week out on the positive side, it's a sunny day.
Well, just remember now, tomorrow is red day. So good thing you're giving the markets today.
Yeah, turnaround Tuesday, as they say in the trade sometimes.
That's good old Valentine's Day. Yep.
Yeah.
So what do we got on the board right now, Gary?
Currently, right now, let's call cash wheat up 7, Terry, at 753 on the white, 703 on the red. New crop up 6 at 780 on the white, 730 on the red. Cash corn up 3 at 629. New crop, let's call it unchanged right now at 536. Cash soybeans up 5 at 1473, and new crop also up a nickel, Terry, at 1319.
Anything that's really jumping out at you that is causing this?
Well, you know, Friday there, just as we mentioned briefly, you know, Russia has repeatedly, kind of been whining to the EU and other nations that it didn't get relief on some of their ag exports, and they wanted to do something about it. Well, they continue to shell Ukraine as much as they can possibly, and there was a little concern about, you know, some missiles flying close to some, NATO nations, and that caused a little stir, and you know, we end up having some fun buying going on, not only in the wheat arena, but in all the commodities for the most part, you know. So just a lot of uncertainty over in that part of the country with the Black Sea, of course, a big shipping port to the world there. And, the same, some of the other headlines, we continue to watch South America's harvest progress and that second crop at Safrina in Brazil, as far as they're a little bit delayed in planting too. But overall, we're seeing soybeans, at their highest level, Terry, since June on the spot March here. So growers are taking advantage of that, and rightly so. And so we'll continue to watch Brazil soybean harvest, and then we're also seeing some buying from China in soybeans too, which is encouraging, and that's keeping the soybeans firm as well. So,
all right, you have a great day, Gary. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good, Terry. Thank you.
I bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Doug Klein up next, John?
Yes, indeed. We'll head over to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. The market report today brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. Are you ready to upgrade to a new Ram truck for your family farm? Now is the time to order your new Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500. So you should see the folks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, the Great Lakes Bay certified ag dealer. They specialize in all models of new Ram commercial trucks and vans, and ordering now is the way to go. You can buy with confidence from Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth since 1852, where family and service sells cars. Also by Thumb Bank. They've been serving agriculture for over 125 years with 2 locations in Bay City, also Cass City, Caseville, Pigeon, Bad Axe, and Marlette. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Well, now for more good news, we hope. Let's head over to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
Always the bearer of good news, right,
Always.
Doug? Yeah.
Well, the Super Bowl indicator would have had us cheering for the Eagles, but seems to me that that didn't work. But anyway, the Super Bowl indicator is only right about 50.1% of the time or something like that. So it's not exactly a dyed-in-the-wool guarantee. But the stock market is coming back pretty solid today, almost 1% on the broad market, 1.5% on the NASDAQ. So that's solid. And the commodities, they're generally in the green. Natural gas is down a couple percent today. Not a big deal. Not a new low. So that's just hemming and hawing, I guess. Precious metals down a little bit on the dollar. They said a solid, not a weaker dollar, but nothing really, but good news across the board, really. So here's your numbers. The March corn, 6.84 3/4, up 4 1/4. September corn, 6.10 3/4, up 3/4 of a penny. March soybeans, 15.48 1/4, up 5 3/4. November soybeans, 13.84, up 5 1/4. March wheat is 7.93 1/2, up 7 1/2. And July wheat, 8.04 3/4, up 5 3/4. Crude oil, pretty steady, 79.44, down 28 cents. Heating oil is $2.90. That's up 3.5 cents. Gasoline is $2.51 1/4, up a penny. And natural gas $2.46, down 5.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys 133.46 at the border. That's up 2 ticks. The dollar buys 132.82 yen. That's up 141 ticks. The euro's at 107.14. That's up 40 ticks. The dollar's at 103.43, down 20 ticks. Gold's at 1851.80, down $11. Silver's 21.88, down 19 cents. Platinum's at 950.70. That's down $1.10.
All right. You have a good one, Doug.
Okay, very good.
Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Well, I don't know if we can call this good news or not, Jonathan, but why don't we just slide over to Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo. He usually puts a positive light on taxes or something like that.
Some news.
Anyway, Eric Sawatsky, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Let's talk a little bit about that, the required minimum distributions from IRAs.
Yeah, I wanted to cover a couple things there. We had some changes this year. So basically, the age where we have to start taking money out of a traditional IRA actually got extended another year. So if this is the year that you turn 73, you would actually have to start taking minimum amounts out of your IRA starting this year, and then pay tax on that. And it's based on the value of your account at the beginning of the year. But that was 72, and actually a couple years ago, age 70 and a half when you had to start doing that. So I guess that's a positive spin, is those people that fall into that category actually get a little bit longer that they can leave the money in an account and not have to take that out. But if you're already 73 or older, you're now going to be taking those minimum distributions. But one thing I wanted to point out with that is one option, if you're at all charitably minded, you're already giving money to a charitable organization, is instead of paying tax on that required amount that has to come out, you can have the IRA, whether it's with a broker or whatever company is holding those funds, send the funds directly to a qualified charity. And the advantage there is you not only avoid or get a deduction for giving money to the charity, but it doesn't go in your itemized deductions. It just is excluded from income altogether. And that's for both federal and state. So really it's your best bang for the buck You're already giving money to charity, have it go directly from that IRA. That option is there for anyone who has to make those required distributions, but it's also there for anyone who's turned 70 and a half. Even if they don't have to take that money out yet, they can still make their charitable giving from your IRA and basically get money out of that account without having it taxed at all. So it's kind of a nice option if you're already making those charitable contributions or thinking about doing so. Once you hit 70 and a half, you can take money, have that go directly to a charity and avoid taxes.
That's a good suggestion. You take care, Eric. Always good to talk. We'll talk to you again next week. All right.
All right, Terry.
You bet. Eric Swatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. Coming up next, Chuck Cervinsky over at Maple Hill, but let's take a quick break.
Looking for something to kickstart your day? Come into Sbarro Pizza in Midland, where their famous breakfast pizza is sure to knock your socks off and get you fueled for your busy day. Their breakfast pizza is made with fresh ingredients every morning, so no frozen items here. Join them for their grand opening, February 16th, where you can sample the breakfast pizza as well as other signature menu items. While there, make sure to enter for your chance to win a $100 Forward gift card. Conveniently located inside Country Corner Shell Gas Station on East Isabella Road in Midland.
Last Friday, didn't have the opportunity to talk to Chuck Cervinsky over at Maple Hill, but Chuck, you're along with us this morning. Good morning. Liking this sun out there?
Oh, you bet. It's looking a lot like spring out there.
Boy, it sure is. What should we be looking at right now, Chuck?
Well, it's time to start thinking about garden and flower seeds and getting them started. And this coming week, we're getting a lot of our vegetable and flower seeds in. And when starting seeds, you really need to do your homework ahead of time to understand seed germination requirements. Some need more light, some need more darkness, and so on. Another thing to take into consideration is how deep to plant the seeds and how much soil cover to go over top of them. You always want to use a fresh growing media in new, clean growing flats, as plant diseases can harbor in flats or pots that you might have used in previous years that you might have stored in the shed or under the porch. As far as a growing media, we recommend Seed Starter 101 that we've talked about before from Morgan Composting. It's got a nice fine texture, making it ideal. It's also powered by Dairy Dew, so you get plenty of nutrients to get those seeds going. And all you need to do is pre-water the soil a little bit before you sow the seeds, and this will reduce the possibility of seeds being displaced, because if you put seeds in a dry flat of growing media and then pour water all over it, sometimes they'll go all over the place and you'll have a mess. Fluorescent lights are going to work well to provide some top light to those plants after you get them going, as you can adjust them higher up as plants progress, and you might want to consider bottom heat for plants such as peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants.
Oh, wow. I never gave that a thought.
But stop in and see us for all your seed growing needs, as we've got pretty much everything in stock.
And again, that Dairy Dew product, that's got a lot of the fertilization right in it, so you don't have to add fertilizer, right? What's nice with the Seed Starter 101 is you can plant your seeds in it and then not have to really do anything for 3 to 4 weeks, because there's plenty of nutrients in there to get those things going. And again, for more information, we can get a hold of you. Give us a call here at the store at 989-835-4708. Visit our website, www.maplehillmidland.com. And you're still putting together all that furniture for 2023? Getting the store pretty well loaded up. We still got a little bit more to go, but a lot of beautiful things. We've got some floor samples still that we're trying to move out, but it's looking like spring more and more every day here. Boy, it sure is. Chuck Cervinsky, you take care. Okay, we'll talk to you Wednesday. Talk to you Wednesday. Chuck Cervinsky over at Maple Hill. Take a quick break, and then Jerry Reif, our ag-based lawyer, will be talking to us. But first, this.
Where are you getting your fertilizer this year? Just about anywhere you look, it's going to cost more. And you may even find it's harder to get when you need it. It sure would be nice to have a better source of crop nutrients. Believe it or not, you do. It's your soil. Source from Sound Agriculture unlocks more of the nutrients already in your fields, so you can add less fertilizer while getting the yield you're counting on. It's such a solid backup plan, you'll probably find yourself wondering why Source wasn't the plan all along. Visit sound.ag to learn more.
Lots of things coming up, just so that you're aware. Next Tuesday is Fat Tuesday. Art Lewis and myself will be over at Kryjak's house. That'll start, is there such a thing as 5 o'clock in the morning, Jonathan?
I haven't seen it.
When I have, I wish I didn't, but yeah, we'll be there. And that very same day, the Bean and Beet Symposium is going to be held at the Doubletree in Bay City. And then the next day, the Michigan Wheat Board is going to be having their winter grower meeting. So going to be a busy week next week. But Attorney Jerry Reif, it's always busy at your office, and you've had a lot of farmers talking to you lately, haven't you?
Sure do. We're really a lot of farmers, farm families are coming in and they're taking a look at their succession plan, which is, of course, always important. And the question then becomes, okay, when's the best time to factor in, a succession plan? Well, number one, you have to have somebody who's ready to take over, and that's a real blessing because more and more farm families are disappearing. And what happens is it requires a mentor, but because the key thing with farm succession planning is you're dealing with a business and you're also dealing with a family. So sometimes there might be different purposes, that type of thing. So you always have to try and figure out how to make the transition to the farm era. But the key one, of course, may be to the non-farm eras. So it can all be done if you do it. And when you want to do your planning is when you're not under pressure, that you want to be deliberative, etc. And there's a lot of tools that are available, corporations, LLCs, different kinds of trusts. You can avoid probate. LLCs are a real dynamite tool, multiple LLCs. And of course, trusts can always be utilized with a lot of flexibility. We're offering a free consultation. If you have a plan, or worse, if you don't have a plan, you need one. They're not all alike. It depends on your goals. I'm just the quarterback, or the coach. Actually, you're the quarterback, and so the plan has to be one that you want. And of course, the family is involved, and that's very, very important.
So how do we get a hold of you, Jerry?
Well, you can go to my website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or just call me here in Saginaw. It's 989-790-1461, and be happy to give you free advice. Take a second opinion, take a look at what your plan is, and see if it can work or what you'd like to change, and we'd be happy to help you.
Fantastic. You have a great day, Jerry. We'll talk to you again.
You too. Thank you.
You bet. Bill will be right back.
Throughout the growing season, you're tasked with making tough choices, starting with the seed, reading all that trial data. You even have your neighbors weigh in. And when you do plant that smart decision, how you'll protect it, well, that's an easy choice. The soybean herbicide portfolio from Corteva Agriscience. With products like Sonic Herbicide, you'll be complementing your Enlist system with the soybean residual protection that'll tackle the toughest weed challenges all season long. See how a program approach can help you protect every acre at Corteva.us.
Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW.